Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another edition of the Monie Podcast. I am your girl, Monie, and today we're turning up the charm just a little bit. We're going to be diving deep into the world of smooth talk, community, love, and powerful purpose. You probably remember him from Steps After Dark on G98, where his soulful tone and real conversation set the vibe for Toronto nights. But beyond the mic, he's a mentor, a motivator, and a man deeply committed to empowering youth and uplifting the community. We're talking about his evolution from his early upbringings to finding his voice on radio, building community impact, navigating dating and relationships, and the lessons he's learned along the way. Trust me, this episode got depth, fun, and of course, that signature smooth energy. I'm here with none other than Mr. Kerry-Lee Crawford, the man with that voice.
Ooh, that introduction is awesome. Your check is in the mail.
Oh, is there?
Well done, kudos.
Thank you. How are you?
Great, and congratulations on your show. I've had the privilege of taking in some episodes, and I like the vibe. I just like the intro, very attention to detail oriented.
That's good for you.
Yeah, so that's why you have such a huge support network.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's such an honor to have you. I know you outside of this. You supported some of my events, and I've come out to a few of yours as well. So I really wanted to talk with you and just find out more about who you are, the man behind the voice. And I'm so glad you took the opportunity to come and sit with me today. So not going to kill you, but we're just going to talk.
All right. I like
just
that.
Nice, like a smooth
little discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's start with your career and your radio journey. How did your journey into radio begin, and what sparked your love for broadcasting?
My goodness, how long is this show? Okay,
give us a little shot.
A little shot version. I talk for a living, so yeah. It started a long time ago for me, and in so many different capacities, because I love music. First and foremost. So I'm a musicologist, and along my way, I felt like, you need to articulate, you need to be able to set up the music, have a little background knowledge and understanding about the music and the artists and what have you. And so that prompted that I didn't just want to DJ and play the music. I also wanted to talk the talk and walk the walk and really be able to express what we all love and what we all hold most dear when it comes to our favorite artists and our favorite songs and our favorite moments and memories and things along those lines. So, there's really and truly no short answer. I will say that I started as a DJ. And what happened was I was like 10 years old or 11 years old.
Really? So young?
Well, I'll tell you what happens. I was 10 or 11, not when I started, but when I was introduced to it.
Okay.
So I had my cousin, DJ Mike Toe. He's a famous house DJ. And one day I was at his house, and he had two turntables. And I was like, why would you need two turntables?
Yes.
You don't need two turntables. You just need one to put one record on. And he said, I asked him, I said, cuz, why do you have two turntables? And he gave me that look and so we put two copies of the same record on. It was Le Chic, I think it was Freak Out. Oh, I'll Freak Out.
Okay.
And so you put on one, I'm like, but why do you need two copies of the same record?
Exactly.
And then he started to go back and forth. Freak Out. And then I was just
in awe.
What are we doing right now? I was like, that's it. So from that moment on, I was in love. I was hooked in. I started in DMC competitions. So I used to do trick DJing. So all the tricks and scratching.
That's what it's called. Trick DJing.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how I started.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun during that time. And 13, 14, 15. And that's where I got to kind of meet the world of music and entertainment. When I met Michini, I was 14. So, of course, we looked up to her oh, my God, it's Michini.
Yeah.
Same with Fresh West, Maestro Fresh West. And my first radio gig, I was 16, and it was 105.5. So I started at 105.5 FM. Shout out to the man with the vision, the program director, that first brought me on was Mitch Winthrop, and that's an old school name. Mitch Winthrop for all those people who, if you're really old school, right? But then Nick Davis was the one that kept me on, and so we had a show called The Blueprint every Friday morning. I just remember it was mod early, like I want to say like 6 a.m. till 9 or something along those lines. So it started with DJ. So even before I started talking on the microphone, I was on the turntable. So that's kind of how I got the jump off.
But that's young. That's very young.
I love music. I loved it.
Oh my God.
Parents, I feel like my parents were like, it keeps them out of trouble.
Yes.
Because all I did, I was in the basement, in the lab, as they'd say. I was in the basement every day. My original DJ name was DJ Cool Breeze. So enough. But and I did competitions, and that's when I got to meet guys like DJ Matt C and DJ Power, and a lot of the old school heads. And so we had some fun back in the day. Yeah.
Wow, that is interesting. I like that. I would never have thought that's where it all.
Yeah, it's really
that spark just came from seeing the two turntables that you just
scratching back and forth, and I was like, "What are we doing right now? That is amazing!" And then it was so cool because then we're talking 1200s. Those are expensive, and you just let me play. And not to mention the needles. He just said, all right, cuz I never touched turntables before.
Yes.
And he just said, yo, cuz, just do your thing.
Do your thing.
I was like, oh,
okay, you're
like, and when he just walked away, and I always loved him and rated him for that because, a lot of people would be like, that's thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you can't touch it. It's not a toy.
Playing with something like thousands. He was like, okay, let's go have fun. And I was like, what? Oh my
Open your mind to that.
And they're like, Kerry did it. I'm like, no, I'm good. I was the entire time I don't think I moved from the turntable. Yeah,
that's amazing. I love that. Love that. With Steps After Dark, that show, it became such a staple for listeners.
Thank you.
What do you think made that show so magnetic? I remember every time that came, I was like late. Was it like 11
Yeah,
p.m.?
It was like 10 to 1.
Yeah, just hearing your voice come out. You had that slow little intro and you're like, yo, this is it. Like, there's just something about that intro and then your voice is coming like, nice and smooth. Can you do the intro to it? Just like a thing.
I couldn't do that. If
you remember it.
If I heard the music, then I would catch it, but I'd have to hear the music because it was
man. There was something about it.
A vibe that I remember the outro as well. I could do the outro better than I could do the intro. The outro was just a talk, right? The intro.
Yeah, it all depended on what was happening. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, this is the time of the night where we slow it down. So it was a lot of fun. I want to say Eddie Kendricks. I'm trying to think who I used in the intro, but I remember it was Eddie Kendricks that was singing.
Yeah.
Slow it down. It's at 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. at G.87 FM. It's the time that and he would sing Slow It Down. And so that's from the old school to the so soulful G.87.
You think it was your voice that made it so magnetic, or what was it about that? There was just something about that show that,
I say it's like cooking good soup.
Yes.
The right ingredients, right? So I don't think it was one ingredient that makes the soup good. I think that, there's a multiplicity of ingredients. And again, I always, the utmost respect for Mr. Gordon because he saw the vision. So when people were trying to pull, at the very beginning, when people didn't really know what was what, they tried to pull you left and try to pull you right. And Mr. Gordon was just like, stay true to,
really did.
And it allowed us to explore before you find the pocket. No one comes into the game in your pocket. Right, you're gonna kind of go left. That's a little too far. Right, that's right. That's a little too far right. So you find your perfect point of, and then you implement
in that way. Such a founder. I've got to say, rest in peace.
My Mr. G.
Yeah.
So music was a big part of it, but again, community and the listeners. I feel like it was such a powerful tool in that it allowed us to connect multi-generationals, right? So you have the grandkids and the grandmom and the mom listening to it, and the kids are like, oh, that's I know that sample, Dre sampled that sample, and the grandma's thinking about the original, and the mom's thinking about when she was a child.
It was a variety of different beats and
multi-generational. for sure. So
I really love that show.
Yeah, we were really blessed and really fortunate. Like timing was big too. Like it just felt like at a time when the world really needed.
Exactly. Yeah. Very timely.
Love is what love does. That means love is doing. It's not a fairy tale fantasy or feeling. It's an action. Right. And that's what we always impressed upon the listeners. Right. It's doing. It's an action. It's an activity. Right?
Yeah. Love is doing. I like that one. You had lots of unforgettable moments from your time at G. Like, what's one moment that made you smile or blush?
I mean, there were many, countless, literally countless. But there was one time where this really nice lady, my show was at nighttime.
Yes.
And so what I loved about it is that the building was usually really desolate. It was empty. So nobody messing with your vibration and your energy. You kind of just had the place held down. But we definitely couldn't come to the door. So we had a lady so we could answer the door, like you hit a button and say, hello.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, and talk. I said, oh, can you? And so I'm like, but I can't physically leave the studio. So she was like, I saw California soup, we didn't cook for you. And why you too? And I was like,
leave it at the door.
I can't come
I can't hear it.
Right now. I can't, the cousin word like that. But I said, you can, leave it. You can leave it on the porch, and I probably I'll come get it. Yeah, but I thought that was yes. I didn't say. I'm like, how did you get here? You drove to give me some cow foot soup. Yeah, it's very good cow foot soup. And I thought so. And I said, "Baby, come bring me some for you." So I thought that really touched my heart. And
you went together though, right?
Of course, afterward, I
went together.
The funny part was, if people knew where G98.7 was, again, in Toronto, but it's a part of Toronto that, because it was it was behind train tracks, and then there was
I remember.
There was an area across the street. I think it was a golf course. So there was always some crazy wildlife over there. Like those are the stories that people didn't hear. Right? There was some crazy wildlife stories. Like we would step out in there, especially at nighttime.
Yeah,
that's where I saw like a bear one. I was like, yo, what is that?
You saw a bear?
No, I'm like,
oh, okay.
It was a coyote that was big like a bear. Right? What is that noise right now? So anyway, it's I did go for the cow foot soup after the show.
After the show.
I had to wait till I was.
That's a memory that would definitely stick out for me.
And then of course we met so many. So many celebrities. The Prime Minister of Canada at the time. The famous Joe Carter.
Yes.
Story Blue Jay. Joe Carter coming through, and I mean, obviously, Super Cat. I think about, all the artists that you grew up listening to,
and them
that came and graced, the stage, and we got to hang out with, and Tamia, and I mean, Shaka Khan. I guess, the story goes on, the list goes on.
There is lots of nice guests.
Multiple times, right? And so hanging out with Maxwell, I mean, it's just so many memories that were like,
Was D'Angelo ever on there?
No, never had D'Angelo. That was like with his, he did go into his hiatus for a little bit, but then he did come out with his Really Love album, and so we were able to program him D'Angelo at the time. But no, we never got him to Canada. So.
Oh, D'Angelo.
Yeah, D'Angelo. Rest in peace.
And also another one. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
You've also been an MC.
Yes.
A mentor and a community leader. How do all these roles connect for you?
Because I believe it's all one and the same, right? So I feel like music is the mechanism to convey and communicate all the different attributes and aspects of that which we comprise, right? We are brothers and sisters and brothers and sisters. We're all different people. We are all seasoning to life's soup to the world. So I feel like music helped to really bring it together. And so emceeing, hosting events, mentoring, supporting community-based organizations, it's the village. It's all part and parcel to the experience of life. And I feel like I just had the most amazing opportunity to do the things that the Lord put on my heart, and things that I'm really passionate about, and to share those passions with people who saw things in the same way that I did, right? So very unique, and again, I'm always so grateful
very grateful
for the experiences and the people who lives who touched my life. Oh my God!
And you touched lives. It was a really good journey. while it lasted, but
for certain. Yeah.
Very, very good. Your upbringing and evolution. I want to touch on a little bit of that.
Okay.
Tell us about your upbringing, like what values or experiences shape the man and the voice we know today.
Well, I'm going to share something that I don't share very often.
Oh, nice. Yes,
but first, I say, if I big up all the Mountain man. Right?
Are you a Mountain guy?
I am a Mountain.
Oh.
I'm a original international Mountain, regional Mountain fan. So,
and I'm from Mountain too. Yeah.
I'll big up, Chicks and Jay Martin, Sherman Hamilton, and
Jay Martin.
Yeah, the whole crew and roll out. There's a lot of people like Pekka and what's that guy's name from? Much music. I can't believe I'm George. Yeah, I forget his name because I can never really pronounce it. We just call him Strombo.
That was my city. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's Strombo. And so again, there's a lot of Mountain, cats, a lot of Mountain heads that
man.
We held each other down in the sense that we had a level and an expectation that we had to ride by. There was a code. They say road code, but our road code was a little different. I really feel like our road code had integrity, and our road code had grit and the perseverance, determination, but it was based, I believe, principally in the Word of God. And so I feel like we, even though we were in the world, not of the world, so we're in that world, but it's a world I would not go. So it was.
I love that nice brotherhood that you guys had.
It was truly a brotherhood that we were raised with, and I think that it helped to, even when you colored outside the line a little bit, the man went to pull you back in there. Keep you real, keep you level, right? And there's a lot of different experiences that it could have went left, right? But the man then put it back right.
I love that. You definitely need that. And Jay Martin touched on it. He was here recently, and he said when he became a dad, like the group, the man, them, as you said, they said, listen, certain things you can't do no more, right? Focus to buckled up for.
And Jay is my eldest son's godfather.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we go way back.
Way back.
Jay was saying we go back like car seats. That's Jay's talk.
That's Jay's talk.
That's Jay's talk.
Comedy. Yeah. I love that. It's very important to have such a strong role model, and you guys sound like you were there for each other in that.
Even in spaces that we weren't familiar with.
Yeah.
No one to look up to per se. Like there's a lot that we did that hadn't been done before. So we kind of had to figure our own way, trials and tribulations.
Yes,
but
yes.
There's a lot that Jay did even before he got on in comedy. There's a lot that he did that people weren't even aware of, because even when we used to do the Vince Carter parties. So all the Vince Carter birthday parties. So it was Jay that connected me
to that.
Jay, rest in peace, Danny Anning. So Jay had a friend named Danny, and Danny worked for the Raptors, and along with Wayne Killenbeck, we had Wagwan.
Yes.
And so they were like, okay, Vince wants to do a party. And they're like, it's Kerry them control all the parties. And so then Jay approached me, and that's hence we did the Atlantis series. So we did a string of parties at Atlantis that were set off. But again, Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, and those days were again, as we talk about foundational and groundational, those days really helped to set the tone, because before that, people kind of looked at Canada as a hockey city, a hockey town, hockey country. And when the Raptors came in '95, we were able to turn it up and say, Carolina's been out here since '67. They have a whole heap of black people.
Yes.
Right? But oftentimes, our voices were kind of silent, right?
Then,
they were silent at the time, kind of like right now, but we don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about that. But we didn't have a voice at the time, kind of. And so we were able to, through different mechanisms and means, to develop, an event company. And then again, just concerts on top of concerts that we did. We did so many concerts.
Are coming from far. Opened a lot of doors. I love that. It seems like it all started in Malton for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What's your original background though? Like
I'm Canadian.
You're not Canadian.
I am Indigenous Black Canadian. That is my official term. My official term is Indigenous, Black Canadian, right? So we know about we always talk about Indigenous, so we tend to think we're associated with one type of people, but there are Indigenous Black Canadians and certainly indigenous Black North Americans, right?
Okay.
So that's how I characterize it. Now, of course, there is, a little mix-up, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm waiting on. Get to the mix-up.
So my dad's family came here in the late 1800s.
Okay.
Right? So again, still multi-generational Canadian, but my mom's family is like, been here forever. They came from Louisiana, and they don't know.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Underground Railroad. Right?
Your history book.
Follow the North Star.
Oh my gosh. That is so unique about you. I would never.
Yeah. So, and it's a lot of fun. Like, so when you would hear the stories from grandma and great grandma, stories that stick with you, and the stories that they tell, amazing. Yeah. Just incredible.
Wow.
And of course, stories that were passed along for generations and generations. It's not in a book. It's not, nobody sent anybody an email or, or what's.
Yeah.
But you'd sit by the fire and
hear those stories.
Amazing. Yeah. Incredible.
You have some deep roots. That is really good. I would not have connected that with you. I always heard a little bit of the accent, but everybody kind of do the little yardie accent.
Especially especially if you're from it's a different animal.
That is unique. Love that. I recently read an article. It's an old article that you did with the Toronto Caribbean. And they talked about your evolution. Okay. How have you grown most as a man over the years?
The thing about life that I love the most is that you never stop growing. You never stop evolving. You never stop developing. And so you never stop learning. And so, the evolution is ongoing. I feel that just becoming more self-aware.
Yeah, and that's very important.
It's one thing to know where you are. It's another thing to know how to get to where you want to be, right? So a lot of people I know where I want to go, but I'm on a one-way street going in the opposite direction. So getting one's bearing and staying true to who you are and your belief systems, and especially when the world comes to push and pull. And, I always say that I've been called worse by better. Right? I've been called worse things by better people. But my thing is, it's not about listening to the outside noise. It's about understanding who and whose you are, staying focused and eyes on the prize type of thing. So consistent with whatever your goals, ambitions.
But it's hard.
It is.
It's hard. How do you manage to do that? Because I'm trying to get to where I want to be, and it's almost like you're on a range and things are just being thrown at you. You're just dodging and ducking, and it's just like, let's get where.
It's like when you're running, when you're in your dream.
And it's slow motion.
My feet are moving.
So how do you do that? Because you're doing it so well. What's the secret ingredient that you can?
Ebbs and flows, right? Good days, bad days, good months, bad months, good years, bad years, right? But at the end of the day, it's not what happens. It's how you respond to it. And so nothing really moves me too much. I was like, I don't know.
Just let it slide off.
Yeah, just keep it moving. If success was easy,
everybody would have been
successful. Right? It's not, right? Try, tested, and true. It's not for the faint of heart. You have to keep on pushing. And again, if you don't believe, who's going to? Right. And so my thing, I don't know, sometimes I felt like I was just too dumb to give up. Like, I love what I do and I don't give up. I feel like the only time you fail is when you give up. I feel like anything else, you're just in process.
Yeah.
Right? Just in the process on your pathway to success. Right. So just keep on pushing.
Gotta keep going.
Right? Keep on going.
Oh, that keep on going. Hope you guys are enjoying our conversation. We're talking to Mr. Kerry-Lee Crawford. I want to touch on your mental health a little bit. Men don't really talk about mental health. You've been to my events, you see, I'm a big advocate for mental health. How do you take care of your mental health as a man? As a Black man, I want to put it. As a Black man. Yeah, man.
I feel like it's really, again, we touched on it a bit earlier. I think it's important to have a support network, a support system, because it is hard to see the forest from the trees. So, when you are maybe having a bad day or maybe off just a little bit, you're likely the last person to notice. So I think it's important that your network, you have a real network, right? And not the yes men. A lot of people out here with yes men.
Yeah, you need a strong support system. Yeah,
it's not easy to tell somebody things that they don't want to hear, right? And you're afraid that you're going to offend them. You're afraid of how they're going to receive it. But I think that you have to have people in your life that are, again, everything with a grain of salt. I always feel like, you have to keep it, optimistic in relations to how you're presenting the information. You have to build, not pull down. However, at the same time, I feel like you have to hold each other accountable. So when it comes to mental health, wellness, I definitely, have checks and balances. I have things that I like to do. It's kind of like preventative maintenance. There's things that get your car, right? There's things that I do just so I'm always engaged.
Ain't a broke though.
Aware, but I broke though. Right? Exactly. Something has to switch on, something has to fix off. You know what I mean? You can kind of feel it because you're going through your assessments.
Yeah.
And so I believe that, again, spiritually, to me, everything, the base, is the word, right? The word is lamp to our feet, the light to our path, right? So everything for me is the word. And then, what comes along with that. And I feel like the Lord will always provide
and guide you.
Yeah, the insights that are necessary in order to continue us on our trajectory, on our pathway, our journey. Right?
Love that. Mental health, very, very important. And I just want to see more Black men talk about it, just really open up. And the stigma is already so strong around it.
We have to have real discussion. And what I mean by that is that as a man, we learn by our eyes. Kids learn by their eyes.
Yes.
It's like people would say growing up, "Oh, it's okay to cry." But if you cry, like you're a crybaby, and for the rest of your time, that whole year,
that's your name. Yeah.
Right? And so we knew, we were taught through influence, right? Not to cry. And at the same time, adversely, they also told us, "Oh, it's okay to cry, but it's not okay to hit people." Guy would come to school, beat up somebody, and he gets suspended for a day, and he come back, and that was not bad. Like nobody did, they didn't bother him with his lunch. Nobody troubled him for his lunch. Nothing.
Yeah, that.
So I say that as to say, people said, "Don't do this," and he did it, and they're cool. And they said, "It's okay to do this," and then they're stigmatized.
Exactly.
In a negative sense of the word. And so when I shared out within the expressed notion of saying that, really being able to have those earnest conversations, discussions to say, as a man, we're taught to talk about sports, sex, right? Perversion or things along those lines, and things that are more fleeting, right?
Yes.
We have to figure out what we are called to do, who we're called to be, and how we engage in more substantive discussions.
Because we need more of that.
Yeah, and to be able to have that network and support, that supports that you can really be yourself and really be true to whatever you're called to be true to.
Yeah, and not being judged. It's true. I love that. You hit it on the head. Leads me into our community and mentorship that you've been doing. It's very big, mentorship. You do a lot of work, like mentoring young men. I remember I came to, is it a breakfast club? Was it? Remember that?
It could have been breakfast. Was it the pancake? I know we used to do the pancake.
It was a classroom of young students. I think maybe it was grade 4, grade 5. They were young.
Yeah.
And I did a little talk, a little activity with them. What inspired that? I think you said you only did it ever so often, and what's one piece of advice you always share with them? They were young kids. I believe it was maybe grade 5.
Yeah, so when we first started mentoring, it was more just coaching, right? We were coaching older kids, grade 11, grade 12. And then you always speak life, right? And what we discerned through those years was that it's hard to fill a cup that is already full, right? So when we get kids at age, grade 11, grade 12, they're already in their set pathways.
Yes.
So we decided consciously that, we're going to start a little younger. And so I volunteered, I think 17 years for Free for All community services.
Yeah,
so that's how I started.
Yes.
And, our thing was, we had a program named Kings, Kind, Intelligent, Noble, Genuine, and Strong. And we felt that those were the attributes to being kingly, to have that conduct, that behavior, that presence. And again, if success was easy, everyone would be successful. So we used to break down in a curriculum form that the attributes of what it means to be a king. What does it mean to be kind, for example, as the K acronym, and what does that look like, in your life? Because it may not materialize the same way in your life as it does in mine. So let's discuss it in your life, your reality, and let's, hold each other again to account, so we know how to support. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a really good program.
Yeah, so,
Very good.
I mean, 17 years we ran programs. And, still running programs, but you evolve and more work on curriculum development more so than in-class, I guess, presentation and whatnot. But my thing again is it does take a village, right?
Yeah.
And I had people. I think the thing that really sparked me is that I had people who did it for me,
for you,
right?
And so in turn, you then
and I know how integral.
It's needed.
It's not any word that can change someone's life, but any one word can change someone's life. So be careful how you use them, that you make sure that you're present and sharing them.
It's true. It's very true. As at such a young age, just being able to pour into their life and then leading them in that right direction.
Yeah, yes.
It's very vital.
And I say I learn as much from them likely as they learn from me, because they teach so much about real world dynamics and what's going on contemporary wise. I'm like, you sound like you're, back in the days, that's, so but it really has been a long time when I think about my particular, my trajectory, my story. And so it's good to hear from them and the things that they're entertaining and sometimes navigating, and to understand that, we don't know what you're going through, but we know that you're going through. Everybody goes through something. It's okay. So even though you feel like you're on an island and it's just you don't know what the next person is entertaining, right? So don't feel like you're isolated. Just find your village, find your people, find your support network. And look, there are people that you don't know and that's what we use, real world. Like, who do you guys think paid for the pizza? Right? I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't pay for it. But there's people who believe in you so much that they're donating, money and putting it together mechanisms and means of support to because they love you. Like, oh, you love it, they love it. Like, they love it, they love it. They don't.
It's so hard for them to.
Like, you might be their accountant. You might be their accountant. You might be their podiatrist. You're gonna be their foot doctor. You don't know what you're gonna do when you grow up, right? But what I'm doing, whatever you do, I'm hoping you don't charge me.
Get that out there.
Remember my name.
Because life and death is in the power of the tongue. And I love that you're able to just speak positivity over them that and have them just claim it and believe it and walk into it. We need that. We definitely need that in our community. I want to get into your dating and personal growth.
Yes.
You ain't gotta answer everything, but just a snippet.
Well, let's go. Let's bring it on.
You're basically known for your smooth, confident energy.
Yeah, no blame.
How do you approach dating and relationship in this stage of your life?
It's challenging.
Really?
I could do a show on this, when dating goes bad.
Yeah.
I had some, again, I'm sure
I'd love to hear some of them.
It would be like, eggs being thrown off the roof. Like the stories I'm like, that really happened. Like, did that really, like, there's things that I was like, I don't know what to say right now. There's been some experiences that it's like, I wouldn't, that's the story for today, but there's been some instances. And again,
I'm curious now.
You meet people, you meet their representative, right? You're not meeting them. This is their representative, and it's only through the course of time.
Then they slowly come out,
And so that's why I do acutely listen.
Yes.
And somebody was like, and then listen to what sometimes not being said, what's being inferred. But I would say that is to say, it's probably hard to be vulnerable, right? It is in a day where, people would take, best friends, and then that person gets angry with you, and then all of a sudden something's like, it's on Instagram. Like, did you see that thing on Instagram?
Exactly.
It's gone viral.
It's true. Privacy done, everything. It's just changed how people talk about things and resolve matters.
So I can say that I'm so blessed. God has been really patient with me. And again, I'm crazy in love right now. And so I'm just thankful for, the opportunity to live life. I think that, it's not too late since I am divorced.
We hear that for you.
I am divorced. And so I was single for quite a long time. I was divorced in 2009. And so I'm like, I don't know what year it is now, but I'm pretty sure it's a significant amount of years since 2009.
But in that time, you got to build on yourself, work on yourself, and say, this is what I want for my next relationship.
Absolutely. right?
Yeah.
And again, trial by fire, I think they say. But it's okay because that's where the test is in the testimony, right? So
Aw.
yeah, you learn from it and build and grow from that. So
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you were able to come out of that and find someone just right for you. What's something people often misunderstand about love, communication, or attraction?
I would say most common is I think people think they think love is a feeling, and maybe to a certain extent it is, but again, I feel like it's an action. I feel like it's a commitment. It's a decision. It's not going to be the same.
Love is doing, as you said in the beginning there. Yes.
I feel like you cannot take in what you don't put out. And people will, for example, they'll say, it just gets stale. It got tired. The relationship ran its course. I'm like, well, what were you feeling? Right? And so people will say, well, it's date day. We're going to our favorite restaurant. I'm like, really? I'm like, here's the problem with favorite restaurants, right? The problem with favorite restaurants is it's like watching that same movie over and over.
Over and over.
I get it. You know how it ends and it makes you feel a certain way because it ends that way. It's nostalgic and whatnot. But there's no mystery. There's no fun.
Because you know what's coming. It's your favorite
That's why, in my humble opinion, again, like fingerprints, we all have them, but no two are the same. So I'm not saying every relationship is the same. But what I am saying is that the thing that makes relationships really great at the beginning, the honeymoon phase, is the unknown, getting to know each other. Right? And so what I always say and impress upon people is that, if you're together for 5, 10, 15, 20, have new experiences. If you're I don't like that. I'm like, have you ever tried it? No. Well, how do you know
they don't like it?
Right? And even if you don't like it, then you can, you'll have that experience together to say, hey, remember that time you said, hey, let's go do zip lining here or something. But you can kind of laugh at the fact that you didn't enjoy it, but you didn't enjoy it together. You experienced it together. So it's important to try something new. Don't just go like the rigmarole and in the circles chasing your tail. No, try new things, try new foods, try new experiences, right? Destinations. Where you going for vacation, Jamaica?
I would go to Jamaica. That's kind of like me still. I'm just used to going to places that I know.
Well, that's nothing's wrong with that. But it's like, with what, it's like food that you like. This food I like. And then you have to try something different.
I'm working on doing that. Because every time I get vacation, everyone's like, where you going? I'm like, Jamaica. They're like, but you always go to Jamaica. I'm like, and?
You know what you get. You're not going to be disappointed. But again, especially when you're in a relationship, I feel like it's important to explore a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna take that on. I'm gonna take that advice from you and really try and branch out a little bit and try that. The honeymoon phase that you mentioned, I feel that's important. How are you able to keep that going so that it's not just the honeymoon phase, it stays throughout? You know what I mean? Why does it have to fade? Why can't it always just be?
You know what I love? One thing I absolutely, and it's one of the most enjoyable parts of what I do. I love when I'm hosting and you get to meet all different types of people. So I interview, I always ask the question, and people who come to events, I'll say, anybody here married for more than 10 years? And hands go up. Anybody married more than 20 years? Hands go up. Anybody married more than 30 years? Hands go up. So I was like, I'm going to ask some questions because here's what. First of all, round of applause. It's amazing. True. Secondly, what would be if you could speak to yourself, you're married for 40 years. If you could speak to your 40-year-ago self, right? If you could, talk to kids or people that have been married 5 years, 2 years, what advice would you give them? And some of the answers are just so phenomenal. It's so incredible. And so I say that as to say that I think conversations. I think that, mentorship, I think networking, I think that as we talk about fellowship, and I always say that, from a biblical basis, I always feel like you have to have a Barnabas, like you have to have that peer bridge and, encourager, right? You have to have a Matthew, you have to have a Paul, right? And so you have to have that person that mentors you. So you have to have the person that you mentor, the person that holds you up, that's your bridging, and then you have to have the person that you're mentored by. So you have that that three-pronged approach.
I love that because I like the honeymoon feast.
Yeah,
like
make it and keep it going. And feed is what will grow and starve is what will die. So if you feel like something's dying, you got to figure out what you're feeding. Let's up the intake. Yeah.
All right, watch what you feed it. Let's get into some rapid fire questions. I'm gonna ask you two little things, and you just kind of pick which one you feel you most identify with. You know, that's what it's called, rapid fire. I hate when you hit me back.
All right.
Late night talks or early morning walks?
Ooh. D, all of the above. No, I love both. That's really difficult. I'd say I love walking, but I love talking too. Late night talks. All right.
Late night talks.
Make a decision. Crying out loud.
Smooth jazz or slow R&B?
Slow R&B.
Okay, you see, I get that.
All right.
Text or phone call?
Phone call.
Really?
I'm on a call, I'm on, I want to hear your voice.
Okay, people don't do that nowadays. People don't about text. I'm the kind sometimes when I'm texting someone in the middle of the text, they're calling you like, why are you calling me?
No, I want to hear your voice. I want to hear the intonation.
That's what we're texting. You know what I mean? Okay. Biggest turn on in like personality wise, what would that be for you?
Oh, the biggest turn on.
Just personality. Yeah. That is a big one. That's a good one. Yes. Yeah. And it's unique to see that. It's rare. A quote or saying that you live by. Is there a quote that you live by? Let's hear.
If success was easy, everybody would be successful. Right? So I'm like, if success is you put in, for sure.
I like that one. One celebrity that you love to interview or share a stage with.
Ooh,
Just one and on just one.
One, I mean, Ronald Isley, that's
Ronald Isley.
Yeah, that's my favorite group of all time. Like that's.
Tell me why you chose.
Oh, they just. I mean, first of all, they transcend, culture, time.
Yeah,
so they came out like in the late early 60s, right?
Yeah,
and obviously Jasper and whatnot. But when Ronald joined them in the 70s, it was just like he just made timeless classic after timeless classic. So
okay.
I'm a big Ronald Isley fan.
I'm surprised at that one. The song that instantly puts you in your zone. What's that jam?
Again, I guess we have to stay along on the Isley brother.
Yeah,
and so I mean, there's just so many. I just think let's fall in love. There you go.
Let's fall in love. That one is nice. And are you a coffee, tea, or something stronger person?
Tea. I like tea. I'm a bush tea.
I was gonna ask you.
Lemongrass. Yeah. Even Cersei.
God, that was great for you to say Cersei.
Cersei, lemongrass. That's
I don't like any of those.
So it's up to you. Oh, man. That's
more of a peppermint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meringue. I'll do meringue, but no peppermint. That's those things. I need some. As you get older, you need stronger.
Maybe I'll get there. No, that sounds more like my mom. She'll drink all of those that you mentioned.
Oh man, I'm a tea connoisseur. I love tea. Bush tea.
What's your alter ego's name when you're behind the mic? Is there a name for your alter ego?
It's Kerry-Lee. That's just Kerry-Lee Crawford, I guess.
That's your name for your alter ego?
Yeah, that's just we just abbreviate. We move the hyphen, you know what I'm saying?
And one word to describe your vibe. You got a vibe.
I think you got it. I like my one word would be passionate, but I think smooth would be. I'm passionate is what it prompts everything.
Passionate and smooth. Love that. This brings us to a segment of our show called Good Things Are Coming. It's basically the segment where I leave my listeners and viewers with a nice little positive affirmation to help them get through the week. So I'm going to do a little good things are coming because, and then Kerry-Lee is going to do a little good things are coming because. So good things are coming because no matter what stage you're in, your evolution is still unfolding.
Absolutely.
Like that one? Drop a little something.
I like it.
All right, good things are coming. Drop one for them.
Good things are coming because you deserve it.
Snap, snap, snap.
Mm.
I like that. Good things are coming because you deserve it. You just got to feel it
Yeah.
and believe it that good things are coming. You know, just like Kerry's story, every setback can shape your sound, your purpose, and your power. So just speak life over yourself this week. Remember to speak life.
Speak life.
Speak life. Speak life. Tell yourself that you're growing, that you're becoming, you're evolving, and you're not going back to where you're coming from. Kerry-Lee, thank you so much for being a guest.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I love it. Questions, content, so so intuitive is the word.
Intuitive,
that comes to mind. And so you can tell that you do your homework and that you're a master of your craft. So keep on keeping on, as we said earlier, and all the best. And certainly it was a pleasure
to
share your platform with you.
Thank you. It's such an honor to have you. You don't understand. It really means a lot to me. So thank you so much for being a guest. And to our listeners, thank you guys for joining us. And remember, if you love this episode, if it resonated with you, share it with someone. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below, leave a comment, share with a friend. Let us know what inspired you throughout this episode. You can follow Kerry on social media. You want to drop your handles?
Yeah, you can hit me at Steps After Dark. This is Ray Media, which is where I'm at. Favorite TV, Ray Media. As well, Kerry-Lee-Crawford.com, launching December the 1st, and book coming out, The Weapons of Mass Deception and Accidental Intentions. And yeah, we're doing some things. So holla at me, man. Contact with me, reach out to me, and I appreciate, again, just the support continued. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful. Bye for now.